Good evening, gentlemen. It is your host of the matchup preview show, one and only Thrills Alexander. Welcome back to another week. We couldn't be more happy to see everyone here checking out the videos. I gotta say, really enthralled looking at the, really taken aback, if you will, when I look at the video clip library that I've produced, and I see more than 12 views, seeing as how we got 12 guys on our league. You guys are watching more than one time. Much love to you guys out there trying to figure out what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right, and to just kind of replay when I'm talking good about you, because you know it doesn't happen that often. All right, so week 4. As we saw, or you might have seen in the clip I sent out in the league chat just a couple days ago with one Brian James Green, it is the SB week. It is the son of a bitch stolen base week here, boys. So we're going most steals is going to win $10. If 2 teams tie, it'll be $5. If somehow 3 or more teams tie, then I will talk to said owners and see how they'd like to progress forward. See if everybody wants to cut a 333 or to see going forward. But I'll talk to those owners on a individual basis right there. But I don't expect anything crazy to happen. I do expect to see one team pick up probably like 12 stolen bases somehow and just run away with it. So $10 is on the line for the most stolen bases. So Randy, Marzipan, Joys, you might want to try to add some dudes that are just fast this week. Get yourself some money back. All right, let's look at last week. I went 3-2-1 in my predictions. Can't complain too much about that. I had Cody win it. I had myself tying. Thought Beer Me might pick up a dub on When Puigs Fly. That didn't work out. Thought that me versus me would pick up a W against Mr. Tickles. That didn't work out, but everything else was on the sunny side, so I can't complain there. Cody finally must have taken my advice, got his head out of his ass, picked up a dub, total shutout city. Really, damn, that makes you sit back. And it wasn't a lucky shit. It wasn't just luck that he totally took it to Hakuna Matata if you go back and look at the stats. Speaking of Hakuna Matata, bro, didn't even get 35 innings pitched. Come on now. Pick up a starter. Look for the green check. I know you're new, so I'm not even angry right now. That's just a mistake you might have made. When you go to look up add players, look for a green check mark if you're getting low on innings pitched. That means they're starting tomorrow when you pick them up, so they're automatically ready to go for a game start. Just a little friendly advice if you didn't already know. I'm sure you might have. Just want to pass that along. And Anthony, another week, another name change, bro. Please don't ever stop. Like, please don't change that. That's one of my favorite things about you, aside from your lips flapping and slapping. It is the fact that you'll change your name on a week-to-week basis to coincide your opponents. That's on a different level. I like it. So without further ado, let's jump right into the Week 4 matchups. All right, here we go. 2-1 When Puigs Fly going up against 1-1 Brick Tamlin. Brick coming off just a heartbreaking tie. Thought he had it all sealed up. It's Sunday afternoon. Shut the hell up, dog. Pause. Won't be back with one moment. And we're back. Sorry about that. Had to handle some canine companions of mine right there. They were barking just a little bit too loud, jacking up my stuff. But back where I was at. Brick Tamlin coming off just a heartbreaking loss, or tie last week. Thought he had it all wrapped up, and then all of a sudden Adam Ottavino comes into a game, 2/3 of an innings, picks up a hold, and really just puts the screw in the pooch right there for him. And I'm really sorry about that, man. Gotta say, those motherfucking GD no-names on your squad just really showed out for you last week. If they can do that all season long, Romart's going to be a good team, because this pitching was straight up trash this week. Just garbage this past week. And he's got a team full of guys that know how to throw a baseball over the plate and get other people out that are holding a wooden stick in their hands. So for him to not pitch well, kind of got some luck there, Ron Burgundy. So count your blessings there. But Brick, I'm thinking for this week you should change the name to West Mantooth, because you're not anywhere close to the anchor desk. All right, When Puigs Fly. Start of the year, just dogged like trash. Last 2 weeks you've picked up dubs, and I've been kind of impressed with what I'm seeing. You're really picking up offensively. Bo Bichette has been your lightning rod for offense, but he's out for 6 weeks. I want to see how you're going to recover from that loss. That's really what my main thing is right now. When Puigs Fly, what are you going to do to compensate for the loss of one of your big guns right there? You know you got Nick Solak, and you even got Yordan Alvarez coming back, but is that going to be enough to compensate for what Bo Bichette was really bringing to the table as a number 1 hitter for the Toronto Blue Jays? All right, so I'm really looking out for you there. Got to say, barely reaching the 35 innings pitch limit each week. Kind of dicey in my opinion. I like to be a little over it in the 40s and 50s. You're teetering on it right now, broski. You are teetering on it, so be careful going forward there. But, I mean, you got Max Scherzer, so as long as you got him starting once or twice a week, you're going to be in business. All right. So this week, I got to say, with those two guys going head-to-head against each other, Wes Mantooth versus Win Puig's Fly, Big Green's in second place in this league. If anybody notices that, I can't foresee that continuing. I'm going Brick Tamlin, a.k.a. Wes Mantooth, this week to pick up a dub and really be on a revenge week. It's just angry, just like, we're going to keep it PG, just angry time. All right, moving on to our next matchup, and we're going to call this one The Boys Are Back in Town. Billy and his buddies going against each other. I like to see it this week. Smell the Glove versus Marzipan Joy Joys. Now, Billy, he tried the Anthony approach, changing the name, see if he could catch lightning in a bottle. That bottle just blew and the glass sharded all over you and cut you to shreds, like shrapnel, if you will. And you lost to Win Puig's Fly, which is kind of embarrassing in its own right. But only one other, only one team has beat him this year, so we can't destroy him too much there. When I'm looking at your squad, though, I know you even mentioned in the chat board, if you're going to be going 3, you might as well play for the weekly challenges and be a hometown hero. So, I mean, you got Rizzo, you got Contreras, you got Chris Bryant. I think you even have Yu Darvish. And then you got Kid K, Old Man K, Craig Kimbrell. I mean, now we're reaching for straws there. We're reaching for Chicago Cubs jerseys, bro. I don't know about that one. I got to say, your season, honestly, is starting as well as the school year's starting for most places. So it's just been a total shit show. Wish you the better, but not really. Smell the Glove, on the other hand. Squeak past Randy this past week. His O does what it does. And so did his staff last week. I mean, I was just not impressed with the pitching staff, as I've commented on many videos before, but when your offense is smacking the cover off the ball and just racking up 120-some total bases each week, as long as your pitching staff is almost alive, you should be good to go. So, Smell the Glove, you got that going for you. Still think you're a top squad, but I'm just not totally sold on you being at the championship level that you need to be at. Maybe a trade or two. Maybe that'll work out. I know you're managing the city down there in Arizona. I think it's Tucson, maybe Phoenix, maybe Sonoma. I'm not sure what city you're managing, but, use that as motivation. Use that city as maybe some name motivation or maybe some just motivation to kick some ass like a city manager does. Rob Lowe style. But in this matchup, I got to say, Billy, your team has been garbage, and until you win a game, I'm just going to keep picking against you. So I'm going with Smell the Glove to go to 3-1 and keep going up that leaderboard. There you go, Dan. Smell the Glove. Moving on to our third matchup. We've got another name change going on in this matchup. I don't know what's going on with you guys. Feeling a little frisky, feeling yourselves, just thinking, you need to do something to change it up a little bit. But we got Chop Top going against Globo Gym. No, I didn't say Shock Top. A moderately decent adult beverage. I said Chop Top. All right, so it makes you think immediately. I'm thinking of the Braves, or for some reason I'm thinking of hedges being chopped off. I don't really know why. But you suffered your first loss of the season last week, man. That's kind of a bummer. Thought you had a really good chance against Mr. Tickles. Obviously, I predicted you to win, but you just got mookied. There's nothing you can really do about that. I mean, he does what he does, and you didn't really see the Brandon Lau or the Teoscar Hernandez thing coming, but, I mean, Mookie, he just got you, bro. I'm surprised. But I think this is a good matchup for you this week, going against Globo Gym. I just look at the two squads, and I think Alex's squad should probably win 10-3. That's just what goes through my mind at first. Not just because I'm like, oh, Alex is the best fantasy player ever. No, just because I think this matchup really looks good in your favor. And I like the fact that you're kind of getting antsy here and throwing things up against the wall, trying to figure it out on the fly, what to do in this newfangled COVID league of men. Now, Globo Gym, welcome to the chat, man. I'm glad to see you there. I'm glad to see Billy getting his boys in the chat board. Like to see you participating. Definitely bummed that you didn't win last week on Emilio Pagan. He could have helped me get the dub. Could have helped you get the dub. I could have been at 3-0. You could have been at 3-0. That would have been cool. But instead, we both picked up non-wins. A lot of middle infield type guys on the squad. When you look at a squad, just got a slender build, not a whole bunch of just yoked Luke Voigt looking guys on their team. That's whole purpose is just baseball's far. He's got a lot of guys that can do some things, get doubles, get triples, maybe even slap a bag or two along with hitting the home run. So I kind of like that balance that he's got going on there. Kirby's lost. Kirby Yates, he's going to be out for a while with the bone chip. So I think having Pomeranz is nice. I've never been a Pomeranz fan. Maybe as a closer he'll do something. I mean, as a starter he could only go 4 1/3 anyways without, giving up 6 earned or walking 12 guys. So maybe he can close it down just having that 1 inning gig and continue to do work for you. Overall in this matchup, I mean, I know I said it looks like Alex is going to blow him out, but the more I talk about Globo Gym, the more I just want to say, you know what? Fug my initial thoughts, fug my basic instinct. Go with Globo Gym. Go with Globo Gym for the dub. So that's 3 picks in, 3 to go. We're going to keep it moving here, boys. Next up, we've got another name change, but this one comes from Big Ant here. We're going with El Nino y Amigos, going against Hakuna Matata. Now, Hakuna Matata the Rook, not a way to follow up a dub, man, by getting shut out and losing all your pitching categories automatically for not even getting 35 innings. Like I said earlier, I'm a little disappointed in you. Expect more going forward. You're better than this. You're better than this. Acuna getting hurt, shit. His wrist is not what you want to hear. Hitting a couple dingers and all of a sudden my wrist is hurting. I mean, they're not like the NBA bubble where they can't have female acquaintances come around. I don't know why his wrist is hurting, but we'll leave that up for a discussion for a later board, a later Reddit subthread, if you will. Offense last week could have done something. I looked at it. If you go back and look at it, over 100 total bases. Really went toe-to-toe with Cody the best he could before Cody just totally smacked him down. But I think that this week could be a stepping stone going forward. Maybe the motivation he needs, kind of losing that, getting embarrassed shutout style. I think it's going to help him going forward. Anthony, bro. 3rd place, man. I'm impressed. I don't like it. I'm not going to lie. Don't like it. Don't like it at all. If you win the league, huge asterisk. Anybody else wins the league, it's acceptable. All right, but if you win, it's just, it's an asterisk. Just deal with it. I'm impressed that, man, your O is cooking. Your O is cooking, man. Like, you got Aroldis coming back this week. You're going to field a full pitching staff. Even have a couple dudes on the bench, which I like, on your staff. So this week, I think even if Mike Clevenger and Plesac could ever get their shit together, I know that'll make Oliver Perez want to jump ship and just quit this year because he's upset that they lied. Lying is not good, but winning is better. Winning cures a lot of stuff, and those guys are going to help them win. So I think they'll be back sooner rather than later. And I think Anthony is going to pick up a dub over Hakuna Matata. Even though I said it could be a stepping stone, Anthony's not going to be that stone you step on, my friend. All right, 2 matchups left. Let's go ahead and talk about Ron Burgundy versus Mr. Tickles. Now, Mr. Tickles always been somebody I've loved to root on, always loved to cheer for. And this week's going to be no different, but to a certain degree. I'm going to cheer for him to be competitive, so I'm not looking at my phone bored on Saturday and Sunday trying to figure out, who I'm going to pick up for Monday or Tuesday. I want to be into my matchup all weekend, but I still want to win. So I got to balance those 2 things out. Like I already said, you mookied Aharb last week. It was nice. If him picking up a loss makes me giggle, makes me happy, so I'm fine with that. Razor Ramon, he gets come back, only 4-game suspension. So I said like 20 games in a third of the season. So I was just a little bit off, no big deal there. But I think you match up really well with Ron Burgundy. He's matched up pretty evenly with everybody he's played this year. So I expect this week to be no different. There's been no blowouts from the Ron Burgundy squad. Speaking of which, Ron Burgundy, the commish, is in 1st place. I mean, I got a schnoz right here, and it's smelling something fishy. I don't know what's going on here, but I'm not liking what I'm seeing if I'm the rest of this league. Thinking, hey, man, he started this league, and he's going to be in 1st place? I don't know about that. But then you get looking at the squad, you're like, damn, Bryce Harper's finally doing Bryce Harper-like things. Joey Gallo didn't strike out last week, and he's going catcherless. That's just one of many teams that we're going to see this week, and maybe even going forward, who are just abandoned the catcher position altogether. They're like, I don't want to start Jeff Mathis or Max Stassi or Sean Murphy. I'd rather just not have that 0 for 3 and the occasional 1 for 4 with a single or double knocked in every once in a while. So keep that on the bench. Ron Burgundy, though, just like I told Billy, until he picks up a dub, I'm going to pick against him. Until Ron Burgundy picks up a loss, I'm not going to pick against him. So, Ron, I'm picking you to go to 3-0-1 this week and continue to maintain that 1st place championship level that you've been at all year. And last and certainly least is the bum matchup of the week here. We've got 0-3 Randy Watson versus 1-2 Florida's Finest. Combined 1-5 record is pretty putrid. 167 win percentage. Yikes. Don't like that at all. Randy Watson, you made it interesting, man. You came back on the weekend. The name change really seemed to spark your team. Speaking of another name change in the league. Seem to really spark your team, man. You've been making deals, although I don't necessarily agree with the deal that you made, Ian Happ or Blake Snell. I thought it might have been Rip City. Thought you might have just looked too at the superficial numbers or artificial numbers, and not really at the true numbers of Ian Happ and Blake Snell. One moment, SpongeBob time. You know you're in Atlanta. Got to be drinking Coca-Cola down here in Atlanta. But until you figure out how to clone Garrett Cole and Mike Trout, I don't really foresee your team being able to pick up a dub easily. It's going to be a dogfight every stinking week for you, man. And I don't know how you're going to be able to do it all year. I know you're staying active though. Say it every week. You keep running your mouth, and there might be a promotion in store for you. I'm just saying, promotion, and you'll like it. Next up, Florida's finest going against this Randy Watson fella, Cody. Woo-wee! Just did work last week. At what point in time, Cody, were you like, I'm done looking at this? Like, you could just go around, do your other stuff, mow the lawn, weedy, watch some Braves on TV, pick up a couple dubs. He picked up a dub even when Max Fried wasn't pitching, which is just blowing the mind nowadays. So, Florida's finest, another team going catchless. I really like what you're doing with your squad right now, Cody. You took the motivation to go ahead and say, fuck this. I'm not about losing. I'm about winning. So, I like to see that. What I really don't like to see is Jesus Soto. And I know people are thinking, Thrills, his name is Juan Soto. Hell no. That J is now standing for Jesus because that's who he's playing like right now. An otherworldly being. It is insane. Wish I would have ponied up and gotten him this year, but I'm going to get a bitch out. Got to save my dollars over here. Otherwise, he'd have been on my squad. So, Cody, with that staff of yours that picks up 15 wins a week somehow, leading the league by a margin that's unmeasurable, I got to say, you're going to pick up another dub this week, Marcus. You're in the Cody line, you're in the Billy line and the Ron Burgundy line of until you prove me wrong, until you do something to get off that offer, I'm not changing your name. So I'm not picking for you. So I'm going with the one and only Florida's finest to pick up a dub this week. To recap, we got Brick, we got Smell the Glove, we got Globo Gym, El Nino and Amigos, Ron Burgundy and Florida's finest. Those guys they're going. It's 6-0 this week. Just go ahead, mark it down. The rest of the league, just go ahead, bench your squad, take it to next week, start over, and we'll see you in about 1 week from now when we decide the next weekly challenge for week 5. See you then.